Hello, this is Leslie Lee, and welcome to Simplee Tarot, where I give intuitive advice to empower your life. This is a pick your card reading where we'll look at your connection with your future relationship. Now, this relationship could be romantic or platonic. It could be with a friend, with a relative, with a loved one, a spouse, or even someone who you may have your eyes on. These are just messages that will let you know what you could expect with this relationship in the future. And thanks to the viewer who suggested this and asked for this pick your card reading. I think this is a beautiful reading. I think this is brilliant. So thank you so much. As always, these are cards 1, these are cards 2, and 3. Go ahead and pick the cards or the crystal you're most connected to, and those cards and that message is meant for you. Also, remember the timestamps are in the description area below for your convenience as well. So, let's start with cards 1. If you pick cards 1, let's see what connection you will have with your relationship in the future. We have finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. We also have the Empress and the Sun. Now these two cards go hand in hand and obviously to me means a good time. There's going to be something of a growth, something of an advancement in this relationship. You're going to go to the next level. You're going to go to the peak together. I feel like it's going to be a loyal connection that whatever you guys do together or separately, it will be beneficial for one another. With the Finding Sanctuary card, it says opening to your spiritual source. And it makes me feel like there's a connection here that may go really deep. It's like a deep spiritual connection you may have with this person, or deep as in a loyal, loving relationship. The Empress card may also represent you not only continuing to grow this relationship, but the blossoming of this relationship. It's going to be something you are proud of, something you may even want the spotlight on or will get attention because of how good it is or how good it feels, that others could resonate with it or even look at this relationship as something that they want, as like a role model or something that they want to have in their life, that sort of thing. But I see with the Empress card, there's growth here. There's a birth of something new and fresh. And with the Sun card here, it's spotlight on you and this relationship. And this also represents growth and something fresh. I see the butterflies here as well. So there could be a major change that happens in this relationship that will get it back to that top peak performance of where things used to be. With the butterflies, I do feel like a sense of a rebirth, a regeneration, a redo, something to do with a second chance, so to speak. So this relationship could go from one thing now and then grow into something else later. And I do feel that. It feels like it's a big growth, and it could be even spiritual. You guys could possibly feel like this was fate or this was meant to be. I'm going to pick another card just to get a little bit more clarity on this situation, about this relationship and the future of it. Okay, we have new life. As I said, I do feel like there is a new beginning here, especially with the Empress card. It's about growth, it's about expanding, it's about going to the next level or going in a direction that it just feels good, feels up, like you're on the right track. There's something new blossoming here, something new coming out of this. It could be a rebirth of sorts. It could be, it's some kind of a feeling of changing trajectory. So it could start one way and end up somewhere totally new, totally fresh for you. The new life also could correlate with the butterflies I see here as some sort of a renewal or rebirth, or like the phoenix, regeneration of sorts, where one thing has ended so you could continue on in a new fresh light. So I do see new things happening, possibly a new direction, something lively, something full of growth and abundance, something blossoming here with this relationship. And I do see it being very good. The universe is shining a light on it, and it at times can feel like it's fate, like it was meant to be. And you may find correlations or things like synchronicities about your relationship, about your birthday, or about things you've dreamed, or about things you found, repeated numbers, or things like that that will make it feel like someone has laid out this road or this path for you. And I see pretty much good things here with these cards. This relationship is top notch, definitely. All right, let's move on. Let's go to cards 2. All right. Moving on to cards 2. If you pick cards 2, let's see what kind of connection you and your relationship will have in the future. All right, you have grounding. Let's get these cards. And 5 of Swords and the World. Now with these cards, I do see that there is some sort of energy here that is requiring balance. There is an energy that's requiring you to ground or to center yourself or to become more in depth with this relationship and where your place is in it and where their place is in it. The 5 of Swords could usually depict some kind of conflict or some kind of miscommunication. It is a Swords card, so communications are definitely in the air or lack thereof. So the World card talks about balance and having things in order and having things planted on even ground. You want things to be level. And the grounding card says go deep, explore your roots. And it makes me feel like you have to understand what you're trying to get out of this relationship and what this relationship is giving to you, and if it's on the same level. The 5 of Swords also indicates frequent disputes or spats or arguments or possibly just, like I said, miscommunication. They may say one thing and do another, or you may feel this way but have a hard time expressing it. There's something here that has to do with communication that needs to be balanced, needs to be stable, and you definitely in this relationship need to ground yourself in order to figure out where you want to go with it. There's a lot of work to be done here. I do feel there is a lot of work on both parts to be done to make sure this stability can happen and to make sure this stability could lead to greatness. I do feel like there is a sense of things becoming balanced for you, but it's going to take a lot of work, and you're going to have to want to be on the same page. You're going to have to want to work it out together. It can't be one-sided. I see the one-sidedness here in the 5 of Swords. It feels like one person don't want to hear the other person, or you can't see eye to eye, or that sort of thing. And what the image is depicting is that there may have been moments where one of you have felt the other stabbed them in the back. You know, like they're not being honest, or they're not being genuine or authentic in one way or another. So there is some work to be had here, but I do feel like as long as you put in that work, you're definitely going to get in a place of stability where each one of you could get something of benefit out of this relationship. I'm going to pull another card just to get a little bit more clarity. For those that pick card 2, a little bit more clarity on this relationship. All right, we have fork in the road. Now, as I said, I do feel like one may be going the opposite way than the other one, or one is not ready to see the other eye to eye or be like-minded or communicate, and fork in the road shows that as well. If you could see, all these arrows are pointing in different directions, and it brings up the thought of, what do I do? Where do I go? Should I continue along this path, or should I split and do my own thing and go our separate ways? And this is where the World card will come in, because you will definitely need balance and grounding in order to figure out where you stand in this relationship and what you want out of it, and if it's best for you to go your separate ways. Ultimately, this is a decision that is up to you, and I can't tell you what is best for you, because only you know your situation and this relationship the best, you know. But with these cards here, I do see that there is the makings of something good coming out of this, but you guys have to work in unison. You guys have to see each other as companions and not adversaries, you know? So it's up to you and them to make this work. It's there, but it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to require a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of your energy, especially. That's why this is asking you to ground, because it's going to require a lot of your energy to get this back on the path that you feel is right for you. Now, let's move on to cards 3. All right. A messy layout, but all right, here we go. Moving on to cards 3. If you pick cards 3, let's see what your connection in your relationship will be like in the future. You have answering the call, the time is now. You also have 3 of Cups and the Hermit. Interesting. With the 3 of Cups, the first thing I feel is a celebration. The first thing I feel also is some kind of a huge announcement and gathering or party. It can very well be wedding bells. It can very well be some kind of announcement on a partnership in this relationship. It could very, very well be a reuniting that everyone was rooting for. With answering the call, the time is now, and it shows that the timing is set up perfectly for this reunion, for this get together, for this engagement, or what have you. Whatever this is for you, the timing is now, and it shows that the universe is working in your favor to make sure that this relationship becomes what it needs to become. The Hermit card asks you to go within and to look at how this relationship is affecting you and what you are giving or providing to this relationship that is affecting it as a whole. Because each one of you bring a half to make this whole, and each one of you bring your own baggage, your own expectations, your own intentions. So you have to look at what you're bringing to the table to make sure this is where you want things to be. Overall, I do see it's very much what you may feel like a fated relationship, meaning fate is on your side, meaning the universe wants you together. And there's a significant event that will happen that will kind of either reunite you or reunite you. And that will be the focal point of this relationship. That will be what your relationship will be represented by, is that gathering or that get together or that partnership of sorts. Answering the call shows that this moment is right for you. This moment is what it is accumulating to. Everything you've been through in your past, everything you've been wanting, everything you've been wishing, this one moment of celebration is where it's at. I'm going to pick another card just to get a little bit more clarity on this relationship for those that picked cards 3. Okay, we have flexible. Now, flexible says make sure you're able to bend to the wind and the changing winds. There may be things in your relationship that you'll have to, bend to in order to remain flexible in this relationship, in order to give, in order to get, in order to sacrifice and compromise. This also asks you to understand that there are 2 sides to this relationship, as I was saying before, that not only is it just the relationship as a whole, what makes it whole is your half and their half. And this flexible card is representing that. Your half on one side, their half on the other. And it requires both of you guys to move in unison, to work together as a partnership or a companionship to make things work. And in order for this to be the prime of your life, this relationship to be the prime or to be what is the focus at this time during this celebration or this engagement or this get together, it's about working together. And you alone have to work on yourself to make sure you are in the place to receive what they are giving. through good or bad times. You have to be in a place where you're able to receive their compliments and their critiques, their criticisms. You have to be in a place where you could receive their mistakes as well as their successes, that sort of thing. And once you're at this place, then that's when the celebration could begin. That's where you could look at your relationship as something, extraordinary, and something that other people could look at and model themselves in their relationships after. So I see that definitely. There's definitely something very significant in this relationship that will happen in your future, and it requires you to be your best self, strong inside and out, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and it requires them to be the same in this aspect to bring in, the whole of what is good about this relationship, to bring in what it is that you guys will be celebrating. So answer the call. Fate is definitely on your side, making sure things are happening the way they need to in order to get you the success in this relationship that you know you deserve. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all your support. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for watching, for subscribing, for all that you guys do. Thank you guys so much. I hope this reading was helpful for you, and I would love to do more like this. Let me know in the comments if there's any ideas you have about pick a card readings, or if there's any kind of direction or advice or guidance you need, and I'll do my best to help. Thanks so much. I'll have more videos like this for you soon, and I will see you soon.